Morning, everyone. How are you? It is Wednesday. I don't know why. I know we didn't cancel any streams last week, but it still feels like it's been so long. I've had a lot. Oh, excuse me, a lot going on this week. But yeah, we're just gonna dive straight in. Let's see who we have here this morning. Let's see, Kathleen. Hello, Durbin. Hello, Christine. Hello. Dry throat is a little dry as well, so bear with. Water here. I probably should have made a second coffee. Florina, hello. Dawn, hello. Let's see. Palma, good morning. Blue Skies, good morning. Michelle, hello. Oh, well, hopefully you can either learn to figure out how you like to use them with that. Let's see. Cece, good morning. Trying not to miss anyone. Kim, good morning. Linda, good morning. Dominique, good morning. Shannon, hello. Let's see. Yelled at my deaf dog. He heard me. It's funny. Our older cat, I'm almost positive that she is deaf. But she was scratching on the carpet this morning. She has a bajillion scratching posts. And I hollered because I'm the only one here. And she did. She jumped. And I'm like, okay, you may be getting old. And because she's like, 90 in human years. But I think there's still some things when she knows she's doing something she's not supposed to. There's a little bit of, oh, speaking of which, hello, sir. All right, so he's going to keep you company real quick. Well, I go turn on the fan because it's warm, but apparently he wants to hang out. 1 second. Oh, you got your tail on the mic. Oh, yeah. It's like those videos that you see where somebody will like, hey, can you watch my cat for a second? Or can you watch my dad for a second? And they put the camera there and the person or the animal was like, wait, what? Oh no, yep, cone of shame. I say, excuse me, all the animals make eye contact, right? Well, he's upset because he was hiding in the office. Because usually when we leave, we shut the door in here because Sir has a tendency to make friends with cords. And he's already gnawed a little bit on my bite cord. And I don't really appreciate it. So usually he's not allowed to stay in here. But he must have been hiding. And so when I came back from dropping everyone off, he had like destroyed a rug, and I opened the door and he's meowing, and it's like, dude, I wasn't the last one to leave. This wasn't me. And so I had to check all my cords to make sure he didn't punish me accordingly. Anyway, all right, well, let's dive straight in. Sir, this isn't gonna work today. You gotta skadoodle. All right, well, we'll discuss what we're gonna start with here. So on last stream we worked on some of the plants and the sky. I was thinking we might actually move down here and work on some of this metal here. So, and you guys will be so proud of me since I knew we were kind of starting on a new spot. I put the pencils away. Like, what kind of alternate universe is this? I don't even know. Mama's always right, exactly. Oh, you're in Canada. That's right. Oh, so this time must be much nicer for you. I pop out, take my son to his drum lesson, but I'll be back. Oh, all right, have fun. Oh no. All right, you can skedaddle. See you later. Okay, he's gone. We got our space back here. Let's see if we can shift our light there just a little bit. All right, well, yeah, let's go ahead and jump straight in. I know there's a lot on this page, so, and a lot of times I'll spend more time like chatting, get a little bit of a light glare. But there's so much on here. Yeah, I have my space for now. I want to go ahead and jump straight in. Now, we could look up a picture of a train and try and see like where the reflections are going to be, but I just made a noise over there. But I think we're just gonna wing it. We still have this paneling right here that we can do, but I was just like, you know what, let's get this metal done and out of the way. So let's see, is the music still going? I feel like it got really quiet. There we go. All right, if the music's too loud or something, please let me know. All right, so for 3 weeks, nice. Hi, Mona. Let's discuss, Mike. Wait, I've got it right here. Are we not hearing it very well? I mean, because he did chew on the cord, and like I'm concerned that it's like not linking well. Sounds like I'm in a barrel, really. Does it make any difference when I mess with it? Testing, 1, 2, 3. Sounds like I'm in a barrelish. That's not good. Hi, Liz. We could always switch over to this one. There's no crackling. I can still hear you. Okay. All right. Yeah, I might just listen back after stream. And because, I mean, if I need to switch mics, it sounds like I go in and away. Okay. Well, as long as you guys can still somewhat hear me, that might mean that this cord has bit the dust. It could be. Well, let me try. Let me try. Oh, you know what? I'm going to move my hair out of my way. I'm actually going to try attaching it like straight up here. Is that better? Hi, Heather. I feel so zoomed in today. And I turn my head. Yeah, it's possible because I had it down just a little bit lower. That is better? Perfect. Okay, good, because I don't want to buy a new mic yet. I was looking at the one that I want to get that's wireless eventually, and it's like 130. So I'm like, okay, we gonna save for that one. But eventually, yes, that would be nice. But this is supposed to be Kevlar. Kevlar stands for can't withstand cats. That's what it stands for. Okay, well, positioning is good. So yeah, it's because it's hard when I wear like a full t-shirt like this because there's nothing like obvious to clasp it onto. Annie, I swear, is like out to get me. She sees me going up the stairs and she just bolts. Yesterday, I was walking to the kitchen and she was walking towards me, but then all of a sudden she took a right to walk directly in my path. It's like, cat, are you trying to like take me out to murder me? Like, but why? Okay, so we're gonna go. We are gonna grab some sepia because I mean the train's got broken windows, which means that the metal is probably gonna be a little bit rusted. And thank you, Shin. It's so much easier. Like when I test my mic offline, what I have to do is I have to adjust the settings I want and then record it and then go back and listen to it. Because you can like listen to it as you're talking, but it's like within a micro nanosecond. Like, so basically when you're talking, it's hard to hear yourself. So I have to record it and then listen it back and be like, okay, what's wrong with this? It really is, because then I can get real-time responses and everything. Okay. So black and sepia, we're definitely going to get, let's actually get the French grays rather than the warm grays. Hi, Angela. And if I missed anyone in, I apologize. B, hello. And those of you, I know a couple of you waiting on squares. But yeah, it has just been a busy week. And I'll be honest, I haven't had the chance to get to it. I've kind of been lurking in people's streams, but I've been doing a lot of stuff. All right, so French grays, which are these ones. Let's just go ahead and grab out all 4 French grays and we'll work on it. Thanks, Christine. All right. The songs are slightly different. Oh, and you're back. Hello, have you come to destroy more of my things? Okay, then. Turn on the full cam, but you wouldn't be able to see him anyway. All right, well, we're working on. Come on, scooch the booty, dude. Scooch the booty. All right. I swear, this cat. Oh my, hey, leave that cord alone. You are a menace this morning, sir. What is your deal? I think he's just mad that he got left in the office. Like, this is his way of getting back at me. Just like getting on everything. Hi, Angela. Oh, nice, Kim. Yeah, for now. That's exactly what it is. Look, I'm sorry that you were shut in the office. I didn't do it. I rescued you. Therefore, you should be nice to me, sir. Okay. Tail is flitting all over my arm. Right? Seriously, at least we've got that. Okay, so we've got the sepia. Let's grab a little bit of terracotta. Yeah, but the pencils are here too. I thought about that, but and we won't do any green for now. I don't think we need like a real mossy kind of look. I guess I'm gonna need to shift these if we're gonna zip. Is that just what you were waiting for? You make this very difficult, sir. Okay, I'm gonna move this. Okay, now he's gone. Oh, the chaos. All right, we need to position this. That is one thing about these pencils is they're definitely very like glossy when they're on the paper. I don't always get that much of a glare depending on, you know, what pencils we're using. Okay, so I think that we should start with black and we're gonna get in some of our darker colors. I was wondering, you know what, let's grab a couple of the other grays because the wheels and the bottom aren't going to be exactly the same. I feel like the wheels are going to be a little bit lighter, so we're just going to do ourselves a favor and we're going to grab the other grays. So we have French grays, the warm grays, the black, the terracotta, the sepia, and we'll use a Prismacolor white if we want to, but otherwise I think we're good. All right, so let's go ahead. Yeah, we're gonna start with black. Are we zoomed in? Let's lower this. Yeah, actually, no, we'll leave it as is. We got enough space here. We'll just keep it like that. Okay, so underneath the train is straight out of the gate is going to be nice and dark because you've got the shadow of the boxcar kind of going over it. Okay. Yeah, I've mostly just been doing a lot of cleaning, catching up on a lot of stuff. The kids have projects. Little Emily and I were up late last night because she really wanted, they're having some end of the school year parties, which is crazy. The school year is going to be over in like, what is it? A couple weeks. We literally have a couple weeks left. But anyway, she has a couple cookbooks that are her level that she got for Christmas or birthday, you know, a couple different holidays last year. And so she's been wanting to cook more. And she really wanted to make these mini empanadas to take to this party, end of the year school thingy. So she's getting old enough that I don't need to do absolutely everything for her. Old enough that she can use a knife with supervision. Like, we're learning knife skills and the importance of watching your hands and, you know, making sure no fingers are anywhere. Go slowly if you need to. But anyway, she's old enough that she's getting a little bit more like freedom, leeway, I guess, with using kitchen utensils, but not so much that I'm letting her put stuff in the oven quite yet. But she was happy because she got to do a lot of it herself, which was kind of nice because when it came to filling the empanadas, I just got to sit down and take a break while she filled. Hi, Kenny, how are you? And if I missed anyone else, I apologize. But so she had a lot of fun with that. But it went a little bit late into the night last night, so yeah, it was full on empanada making. She was very proud of them. It was funny though, because when we were driving to school this morning, she was holding the empanadas and she's like, "Why does it smell like chicken nuggets in here?" I'm like, "Well, honey, that's your empanadas." She's like, "Oh, right." But it was a cute little recipe, not too complicated. It had shallots and shallots, garlic, beef, tomato paste, cumin. How do you guys say it? Cumin or cumin? I don't know. It's like sepia or sepia. But yeah, so she really enjoyed that. But we've got some stuff going on this weekend, and then yeah, I feel like we're all just kind of like in the home stretch of school almost being done. Think cumin? Yeah, I think so too. I think for the longest time for sepia, I would say sepia, but then I realized that was incorrect. Right? For the most part, I think I default. It's like GIF versus GIF. It's not peanut butter. It's not Jiffy. It's Giffy. Cumin? That's a lot in your cooking. Yeah. Yeah, since I've been doing a lot more Mediterranean recipes, I've been using a lot of different spices. I bought tarragon for the first time the other day. Okay, I feel like this is going to need to be pretty dark. So I think we'll do mostly black on this, except for maybe this larger area. But we're just using black for now. So did anybody else get these storms? We finally, the weather report kept saying that we were going to get some of that gnarly weather, but I was like, I'm not complaining or anything, but this weather report hasn't been very accurate. Like, it's not like I want stuff to happen here. But we did finally get some of that rain. We were on a tornado watch all day yesterday. When we first moved here, we never really had to worry about tornado watches or tornado warnings when we lived in Oregon, because that just doesn't happen up there. So when we first moved here, ooh, tarragon chicken. On fish, okay. Cumin and for sepia. Oh, all right. Oh, hi, Holly. Oh, Holly says cumin. See, I read your comment, but didn't read the name. Sorry for that. But anyway, when we first moved here, I had a hard time remembering the difference between tornado watch and tornado warning until somebody had shared with us, and I've probably said it on here before. I feel like we're at the point in our streaming relationship where you've been together with someone for so long and you've heard a lot of these stories already. But in case you haven't, the way that we tell the difference is tornado watch is when there are ingredients for tacos, and tacos being the tornadoes. So ingredients for tacos. Tornado warning is when tacos have been made. Or I'm in the 70s. Tried markers in these books. I haven't. This book specifically, this is my first page in here. This was a birthday gift. But I think I've only done pencils in the books. Granted, they're single-sided and you can take them out. We should do one with markers. Okay, we're gonna put that in there. But yeah, so when we get the warnings, I'll text Steve and I was like, hey, there's ingredients for tacos. And then the kids are like, what, tacos? We're having tacos for dinner? Just pipe up with, what are tacos? All right, we're gonna use a little bit of terracotta in just kind of random-ish places to show maybe just a little bit of rust. So yeah, neither of them are good, but ingredients for tacos is better than tacos have been made. Like, we've had some fairly close-ish calls for sure. The last one I remember, we weren't living here, we were living elsewhere, but the weatherman had zoomed in on our neighborhood, and while they were following the tornado, I'm like, oh, that's not good. And it got close enough that I could feel the pressure change in my ears. So yeah, we got a little bit lucky with that one. All right, let's do some French gray. Let's do number 2, French gray 2. But I like this area quite a bit. I just wish that there wasn't risk of tornadoes. Because we've talked about it before, like, well, why don't we have a storm shelter? And it has to do with the ground here. At least if you live in, like, Oklahoma, you can have an actual storm shelter. But in the meantime, we just get to, you know, the innermost part of the house. I just get nervous when the warnings and watches come through, and I know the kids are at school. Okay, let's do French Gray 3. With the Neocolor 2, we could probably do that for the next one. We've been going through the new supplies and everything. So this one's with the Starjoy, because these were right before my birthday. And then, yeah, we could do the Neocolor 2, because I haven't experimented with those yet. I'm really curious, but you guys will have to teach me how to use them. Let's see, French Gray 3. And he's back. Hi, how are you? What's up, dude? No? Oh, you can see he's got his tail over here. Yeah. I think he's feeling needy. I like them. I mean, they're okay. They don't, like, blow me out of the water. I mostly got them because I was intrigued by Sarah Renee Clark's video where she was, you know, testing out the light fastness, and these ones actually held up pretty good. I wouldn't say that they're waxy per se. Like, they're definitely, you know, they're not going to be anything like Prismacolor or anything like that. They're not even that kind of pencil. But they're definitely smooth. Like, they were definitely a hard lead. They're smooth. They're not going to blend like, you know, something that's smushy, because they're more of an oil color pencil. But I don't hate them. I definitely have pencils that I have disliked more. Will I reach for the... Let me say, I would reach for these over Castle Arts. Use markers all the time? Yeah. But yeah, I would reach for these over Castle Arts. What would I reach for these over? I'd probably reach for these over Marco Raffine's Magic Fly, and those are all going to be budget sets anyway. So the thing that intrigued me the most about them was the light fastness rating. That being said, and I've heard people say before, and it's fairly accurate, that in the long run, unless you're planning on displaying your artwork on the wall, light fastness doesn't necessarily matter. We're going back to black. For adult coloring books, for me especially, I'll take the pictures of them and then post them on Instagram, And I used to, in the beginning, I used to actually laminate them and put them up on my wall, but I don't do that anymore. So they're not really exposed to UV light. So it's not super relevant for adult coloring. That being said, these are only like $25 plus there's a coupon. Now I have to pay state tax. So with the coupon, that pretty much covers the state tax. So it comes out to be about $25 for me. So I am pleased with them for a budget set for sure. Okay, let's see. Let's go ahead. This we're just gonna make all black. Nice and hard, get a solid. Oh, he's legit just like chilling over here, just sitting. In fact, I wonder. Yeah, his head is up there. Pink. He comes back. It's tough. Me. See, this is why I don't keep a cam on while I'm coloring, because you'd be staring at the top of my head because I have horrible posture. Yeah, for sure. Give it another shot. Absolutely. One of the things that we have been using that, and actually, this hasn't been super useful or necessary. Hi, Christine. So I don't even know if you would need a blender for it. It really is. Like, I'll do that for like when I am, when I'm filming, I have to sit like straight up and back because generally I have the tripod and the camera here or it's up above. So I have to sit with really good posture. But when I'm by myself, I'm basically a raccoon in a garage. Let's see, how far do I have to lean from my head to get? Okay, that's really far. I'm not quite that far, but I do tend to hone in on what I'm doing just a bit. All right. Let's see. Let's get the French grade 2. Oh, nice, Christina. How do you like it? Do they blend or layer? Yes and yes. They do blend nicely. I've definitely gone slower with these ones and built up slowly. Right now, I'm pressing pretty hard, and this is actually kind of smoothing out the tooth of the paper. So, I mean, the blender really hasn't even become necessary. That being said, and it could be partially because of the paper, partially because of the pencils, but I haven't hit a point yet where I felt like I couldn't add more layers. You know how like with Prismacolor, because they're so waxy, eventually it's too many layers and you like start shifting the pigment and it builds up and everything. I don't get that with this, but also these are an oil-based pencil. There's a certain level of wax in all oil-based pencils, but when you have a predominantly oil-based pencil, you're not going to get a ton of that buildup. I feel like I would probably rip the paper before I ran out of my ability to layer. Now, obviously, if I were to layer a very light pink on top of this, it wouldn't stand out as well, but if you're adding darker colors, it's an option. Okay, so now we're going to go in with our black. I'm trying to use it because I'm trying to remember what Renee said on how to sharpen it. For the blender, I like to use the handheld sharpener. I don't like to use the doll. I don't like to use an electric one. But yeah, I just use a handheld sharpener. And just sharpen if you want. No, absolutely not. In fact, I had, so the girl that I watch play Minecraft. In Minecraft, if you're unfamiliar with it, there is a thing where you can, they used to call it cheats, but now it's, oh, I forget what the term is, but basically you could turn on aspects of the game to make the game easier. So creative mode where you can pull out any items you need, you have the ability to fly, you can change all of these things. And so people will ask her like, hey, do you feel like it's cheating to add these things? And the answer is, if you feel the need to hide it, then yes. But for me personally, Absolutely not. Like if you're trying to pretend that you didn't use a blender and you just got like these massive pencil blending skills, like if it's just for yourself, you know, do whatever you like. But if someone were to share it online and say, no, absolutely, I didn't use a blender, and when they did, then I would say, yes, that's cheating, because you are not being honest with how you got to where you did. But for me, no, I do not consider it cheating. I use blenders. I can't hardly think of a page that I haven't used blenders. But like I have a whole tray of these and I have used them for absolute ages. But I really like them, and I think it just helps to move the pigment around. And one of the things you can do is, especially with Prismacolors, when you have a particularly toothy paper, it doesn't even so much as blend the colors as it lays down the tooth. And when you are, and I've kind of explained this a little bit before, where on earth are my sticky notes? So the way that the tooth of paper works is if you were to look at it from the side, if you were to look at the paper from the side with like a microscope, the idea is in the microscopic nature of the paper, it looks like this. Not exactly, obviously, but that's the idea, right? Okay, so here is the top of the paper, here's the back, and you color on top. Then when you burnish the paper, you press down, basically what you're doing is you're compressing these ridges. You're compressing these ridges, and so it's going to lay flat, because without it, you're coloring these areas. And that white that shows through on your paper, it's this stuff between the tooth of the paper. So when you use that blender, you're eliminating these gaps because you're smushing it down. So I think that's a big part of it. A big part of it that the blender does is it doesn't, there are some pencils where they're pigmenty enough that it does move it around, but more than anything, it's burnishing it and it's removing that white behind it and making your colors more vibrant. So yes, bottom line, no, I do not think it's cheating. If you feel the need to hide it, then you would need to consider why you feel the need to hide it. Are you trying to express, not saying that you are specifically, but and it kind of applies to almost everything, you know, like let's say you're on a diet and trying not to eat cookies, but you slipped and ate a cookie and you don't want anyone to know, then yes, that would technically be cheating. But you know what? I say just, you know, work the cookie. Be proud of the cookie. Let's see. I think if you use something that enhances the medium you're using to bring it to full potential. Yes, that exactly, Kenny. There really isn't. I mean, unless you're eating it. I would recommend not eating the blender. Yes, Durbin, that exactly. Also, yes. Yeah, very, very much so. Now, when I post my pictures, I will edit them, but I will edit them in a way, because sometimes when you take a picture, maybe the light is unbalanced or it's too dark, or sometimes like I'll get a shine, or if I take a picture and like something like this is in the picture, like a speck, you know, it's showing the back of it, I'll get rid of that. But I never edit the actual thing. And I think part of that is pretty obvious because I do most of my coloring pictures that I post live, so everybody can see where we're going. You don't always necessarily get the true color through the camera, but it's fairly close. Yeah, well, and I mean, and every artist feels differently. Maybe they've set themselves like a challenge to not do it at all. And like, it could also be something that they learned in college. So I had a, in my life drawing class, I had a professor that was really rigid on not using reference photos, like, because we were drawing still lifes, and for drawing still lifes we couldn't take pictures of it. Now granted, this is when camera phones weren't super prevalent, but her biggest pet peeve was using a reference photo to draw. She wanted you to draw it live. You weren't allowed to look at a picture, and her theory was because you weren't getting the depth that you could get from it. And that's one thing that I didn't necessarily always agree with, especially this day and age. Like, I use reference photos all the time. And in fact, it's helped to make me a better artist because I can look at that picture and study, and really, like, if you take it down to like a small section and you look, what colors are in this? Where are the shadows? Like, I feel like reference photos are an incredibly handy tool. But for this particular teacher, she was ingraining in us that this is cheating. If you use a reference photo, you need to draw it live. And I was like, Okay, I guess so. Seeing the Prisma blender does. Normally don't like using a blender much after using and seeing the Prisma blender does. I don't like the... Okay, well, Prisma blender and the Caran d'Ache blender are two very different animals. I have some other blenders. I don't have my Prisma one on hand. So like this is, which one is this? This is like a Thornton's, and I've got like a Lyra blender. These are very different to the Caran d'Ache blenders. I did a whole video actually when I was doing my Let's Talk series on blenders. I don't know if one of the mods wants to grab that, but these are pretty much my go-to unless I'm using like a marker blender. Bye, Kim. Have a good doctor's appointment. Still gonna give this blender a chance anyway after seeing it in action on so many occasions. Oh, absolutely. No, it's fabulous. I would say if you want to get the most accurate reading of what you're doing, use it on your Prismacolors. Don't use it in the beginning because there are some things to remember about blenders. Let's say you're coloring a small area like this, and I were to use the blender on this, but I were to accidentally get some blender where I haven't colored already, that's going to leave a waxy residue, and it's going to be harder to layer on top. So if you can, wait until you've blended all your colors as much as you want, then use the blender, keeping in mind that it's going to come out a little bit darker. So you can use the blender, and then if you are layering blender on top of pencil that you've already colored, it's a lot easier to layer pencil on top of that blender to begin with, or, right afterwards. But I wouldn't start with a blender. I mean, sometimes if you accidentally get a little bit on, it's okay, but you will get that result where if I were to color here, it wouldn't adhere to the paper as well. Yeah, definitely, Cece. Using a blender depends on the look you're wanting it, or some things I prefer the texture of the paper. Like, yes, that also, it really does come down to preference. Like, I have it for this page, but because these are a harder pencil, I actually haven't found that the blender is making too much of a difference. So I really haven't used it all that much. Like here, we could use it on this part here, and I don't think it's going to change that much. It's maybe shifting the pigment slightly, but it's really not. This is definitely one of the few pencils that I found that doesn't really benefit from the blender. Yes, also, yeah, what Shannon said. Which down the line, that will probably become incredibly relevant for me. But yeah, because it makes it to where you don't have to push nearly as hard. Okay, let's see. We've got, let's use a little bit here. But yeah, I absolutely love the blenders, and the Caran d'Ache blender. I recommend that to everyone. Okay, let's use French grade 2. Yeah, you don't have to use 726 layers. Exactly. Okay. All right, let's actually fill this in with terracotta. We're going to grab our sepia. Yeah, with the end of the school year coming up, the kids have a bunch of stuff going on too. So it's just been crazy busy. Corey put out a video yesterday, and I was just like, I don't know how she does it. Like, I have no time to edit, and she's, chauffeur for her kids, everywhere. And I'm just like, man, she's like Superwoman, because I'm just really, I'm streaming. I can do that. Occasionally post online plans of grandeur that I have a harder time putting into application because there just is not enough hours in the day. And sometimes even if I've got some time in the evening, I'm like, I'm exhausted. I don't want to do anything. Oh, fun, Christina. Yeah, well, we'll hopefully have that trip to the coast at some point, and we're going to do lots of swimming, and yeah, there's going to be a lot of stuff. All right, let's do the wheels next. And for the wheels, I want to use, let's see, we're going to do the blue-gray and the warm grays. I wish there were some more cool grays in this other than the one blue Sorry, I was just picking out which one's here. So I have all the warm grays, and then I've got the blue gray, and then the black. All right, so let's start with the black. We've got the wheel. We've got these kind of shaded marks that show a little bit where we want this to go. Steve really likes trains. And so while normal people would probably get frustrated when you're stuck behind a train, he's like, oh darn, we're stuck behind a train. Guess all we have to do is sit here and watch it. Hi, Sue. Here. So that's the edge. I'm still having my light source come from the right, so it's going to be shadowed more on the left-hand side. And then this is kind of the front part of the wheel, so we're going to do this a bit darker. Okay, now let's use our blue gray. Those pictures people use time and watch trails. I don't see whether it's a picture or in person. You're still using your own ability. Great. Yes, absolutely. Oh, fun. Oh, that's right. When is that movie coming out? The kids definitely want to go see it. They love Lilo and Stitch. Okay, so we're just using blue gray. Let's do warm gray 2. Oh no, is it doing that? Oh wait, maybe it's my hair. Hang on. My hair was hitting. I'm gonna tuck it in. Is it going in and out? Let me see. Dang it, Paul, why did you do that? It's him because he did it. Hang on, I'm gonna see. I wonder if I can just switch over to my other mic real quick. It's like a fade. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna see. Okay, testing. I'm gonna remove. Hang on, so you guys can see what I'm doing here. I'm gonna remove that one. Ooh, okay, that was loud. Okay, I've switched. I've switched to the bigger one, but I don't know how the settings are on it. Is the bigger one too loud? Sounds good? Okay. Dang it, Paul, this is why I can't have nice things. Okay, good. Because see, one of the reasons that I switched to this mic versus this one is because since I move around and I look, there is a little bit of a fade because it doesn't come with me. Sail away, sail away, sail away. Here, I'm going to unplug this and I'll show you what he did. Make sure that's okay. We're still good. Look at this. This is here. It's going to get in focus here. Let's focus my hand. That's what he did. That's what you're hearing. I was hoping that it was just the plastic, but you can see it wasn't on when he chewed it, so it's not like there was a chance of him electrocuting himself. But Paul, this was a $50 mic. This is why I can't have nice things. Yeah, he's Sir Paul McCartney. He was found with a litter of 4 kittens, and they named them John, Paul, George, and Ringo. And so we kept it. I could try it with some electrical tape, but if you look closer at it, there's actually a couple wires that got damaged. So it's not just this. He hasn't done it in a long time. He's usually really good. but it's never anyone else's stuff. It's only mine, which I have a hard time not taking personally. Anyway, guess I know what we're saving up for again. Anyway. All right, it's cool. It's fine. Because he loves you. He loves to irritate me. I mean, I love him. I do. But it wasn't cheap, Paul. I'm okay. I'm fine. It's cool. I'll move on. At least I still got my other one as backup. It just, like I said, well, see, I have some. I do have some. Here. This is what I've got on. I just haven't gotten a cover for the mic because it's such a small cord and it makes it really heavy and it pulls on it. Seriously. So I have this. I actually found this because there's a woman that I found on social media. So the cord sits in here and this keeps it safe. But the issue is this is so thick that it weighs down the mic and it would constantly tug. It works great for phone cords. I haven't had to replace a phone cord since. But there is a woman that I found who has a pet rabbit that she lets free roam around the house. Now, I've had a pet rabbit before. He ended up, my parents had property and kind of a farm going on. So he ended up living out there, but because he would chew on all the electrical cords. And I mean, it's not safe. It's not, especially if there's electricity running there, which is why I'm not concerned about him on this, because this wasn't plugged in when he was doing it. It's still not good for him, but it could be worse. Anyway, so I think my next step after that, because as you can see, for me to have this close enough to make this work, it has to be in the frame, but it also doesn't move with me. So, and I just bumped it. Sorry. So I will just save up, and the next purchase, the next work stream purchase will be wireless mic. There we go. Preferably before the prices skyrocket too much. Okay, what were we working on? We were working on this one. Warm grade 2. Warm grade 2 is what we want. Because when I turn my face to grab pencils, I am talking away from the mic. So if you hear fluctuations, that's why. Especially if I come back here. Anyway, it's a whole thing. I swear, I have never been so frustrated with my sound. And since I don't use my phone or my iPad or anything to film, of course, who knows? Maybe I should. No, I like this camera too much to switch. I can't just use like a phone camera. Anyway, it's a whole thing. And now there's no sound. I'm just gonna hide. See, that was me. I just hit the wrong buttons. Oh boy. Apparently. Not like I haven't been doing this for 7 years. 8 years. I don't know. I've been here forever. just because it's your Monday. How dare you bring your Monday in here, Sue? How dare? Much rude. All right, we're just gonna very first live stream. Have y'all with us this momentous occasion. Seriously, someone's gonna come in and they're just gonna be like, "What is wrong with her? Does she not? Does she not know?" No, I don't. Apparently. Oh my gosh. Oh, hey, look at these cool things I got. No, seriously. I've been making some fun sun catcher stuff, and I got these to go on it. Anyway. We're going to reset. We're going to regroup. We're going to gather our thoughts. And we're not going to be me. I know, it's not even 11. Have my coffee yet. My filters aren't in place. I'll roast them like a chair. Right? More coffee. If Steve was here, I'd have him make me more coffee. That could be the solution. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna not push mute. I like roasted chicken. I'm gonna not push mute. I'm gonna push my button that takes away this camera. Because goodness knows I don't need it on all the time. I'm not going to mute it. It's only 8:47 on the West Coast. There you go. I was born and bred there, so I'm going to take it. It's 8:47, people, and I've only had one coffee. Are we good? Yes. Sound is here. Oh my gosh. You know, I was going to go back and listen to the stream to see what the sound was like, but I don't even know. I don't even know if I want to go back. We're just gonna roll with it, and I'm gonna ask Steve if we can get the new mic. Not that. Okay, let me clarify. Not that Steve's like, no, you can't do. No, big purchases we discuss. I don't just get it. So when I say I'm going to discuss it with Steve, it's because we share income. His income being much more than my income. And so, yeah, we discuss before we make large purchases. So we will have a conversation tonight and be like, look, we have a mongrel that likes to eat anything that has a cord that is mine. I know it keeps you in the closet, right? Welcome to the Monday live stream. Yes. Hello, Michelle. Oh my gosh. It's like my first day, apparently. I need to wear like a name tag that says, please forgive me, I'm new. Never a dull moment. Absolutely not. Okay. All right. We may end up going in with some white gouache later, but yeah. All right, let's do these other wheels, shall we? At some point, I should probably try to accomplish something today. So we're going in with our black again. Oh boy. Well, in other news, I've been off for 6 days. I feel like that right now. It really is like that. The issue is like when I have a lot of stuff going on and I'm trying, I'm thinking about 20 bajillion other things that I need to get done. My brain gets a little bit scattered. So yeah, I'm gonna blame it on that. ADHD and chronic issues. That's all to blame. Thank you, Josephine. Yes, absolutely, you can add gouache. If you have very thinned out gouache, you may find that it doesn't take to the paper quite as well. But as long as it's, majority paint. Yeah, I actually prefer gouache. So I keep this little thing full of the Winsor Newton designer permanent white gouache. This is actually one of the little trays from diamond painting. And as you can see, it's pretty cracked right now. So when I use it, I'll use a little spray bottle. I'll rehydrate it. But this is generally what I use for highlights. Right? Well, see, I know he already got me a gift for Mother's Day, but otherwise, if he hadn't, I could just say it'll just be a Mother's Day gift, I don't know. We try not to, unless like it's something that, you know, I've specifically, you know, I've worked with a company or gotten a bonus paycheck or whatever else. I don't generally make a ton of large purchases because we both have student loans. I need to do one of those ones. You ever see those videos that come across TikTok and they're like, look, if everybody watched, you know, my video for, you know, X number of minutes, I could get paid and, you know, pay off my student loans. That's what I need to do. That's what I need to do. In fact, where am I at? On TikTok, I'm getting a belated birthday present day. Okay, well, to be fair, my birthday present, though, was going to Jerry's Artorama and getting to do a little bit of a splurge. But at the time, a mic wasn't necessary, so I probably would have asked about that. But I am getting close to 10,000. Oh, turn off my sound. I am getting close to 10,000 on TikTok. I am at 9,406. So in just about 600 followers on TikTok, I hit 10,000. Which, depending on, because I know that there's also some, caveats, like you have to have certain X number of views in certain X number of time. Like there's a lot more to it. But one of the big milestones for being part of the Creator Fund on TikTok is hitting 10,000. So I need to get my butt in gear and make some more reels. Yeah. Just go viral on TikTok. Cool. All right. Let's see. Blue gray. But at least I've got my Yeti for backup. Like I said, the reason I originally switched is I really liked being able to have the mic come with me rather than making sure that I needed to speak into it. You know, Shanna, I've thought about it. I have, because I remember what you've said about, you know, everything over there. But is it just me, and maybe it's just the ones that are showing up, and that was the blue gray on my For You page. But it seems like the coloring lives that I'm seeing are a lot of like those Coco Wayo illustrations, which is not my style, which is not, I'm concerned that something like this, well, what was she coloring though? And also, it doesn't seem as relaxed. I don't know, because like when I'm live here, I talk to you guys like we're meeting up at a coffee shop, right? But it's like when people are live on TikTok, it just seems different. Like very infomercial isn't the right word, but it doesn't seem like you're really having much actual conversation versus, I don't know, I can't describe it. I just don't know how well I would do. Is that all working? Log in sometimes. Oh, well, it should be Streamlabs, actually. I'm being mute. Of course, it would not be surprising. Yeah, well, but that's the other thing too, is I was hearing some controversial stuff about Coco Wayo. So I'm just like not sure. Like, would a detailed coloring page at the speed that we go, would that be like a vibe over there? Like, do you know of anyone that's doing full pages here? I just feel like my progress would be too slow. I suppose I could color something more simplified, like go through all of like Johanna's like Rooms of Wonder and stuff. Okay. I might need to reset the bot after stream. Yeah. Really? I'll start some beef and they'll push it. Yeah, I don't want to immediately anger everyone. Allison's feeling feisty. Yeah, because, you know, the funny thing is even though I've been on Instagram for ages, I still feel incredibly awkward. on Instagram, which I know is silly because you guys all know how extroverted I am and how much we do these. Yeah, I'll have to mess with the bots after stream. Clearly today, like, technical stuff is just not feeling it. But yeah, I'm just like, I'm nervous about it. Maybe I just need to watch more lives and see what people do. I don't know. I don't know. If you have a favorite color pencil, I guess, TikTok live streamer that doesn't do a Coco YO, will you share it with me? Be the branch out? Mayhaps. I mean, because I could do Johanna. Some of her stuff is simplified enough, and I am familiar enough with her stuff that, let's see, we're going to do terracotta. I'm familiar with her stuff enough that I wouldn't have to think too hard about what I'm doing. Because it's mesmerizing. And I've thought about that too, but with drawing, I have to think a lot more. And so, yeah, I've thought about it. I could do live working on the illustrations and paintings for the festival, which I did get an email. They sent out the emails to all the participants that participated last summer. And like, they were kind of like the invites for everybody to, like, hey, by the way, it's happening again. Small victories, yeah. And then do your norm there. Yeah, that would probably work best, because I just feel like what we do here wouldn't fit the vibe over there. It would definitely be something. Yeah, like I said, I know it would be weird to be nervous about it because, like, I'm live with you guys all the time. And although, yes, there are people who lurk and don't necessarily talk here, but for those of you, which is fine, it's absolutely fine. But for those of you that are here and we talk all the time, it's literally like it's comfortable. In fact, I probably overshare over here. Okay, let's do warm gray 1. Warm gray 1. There we are. A little mouthy over there. Hey, I may need someone to play defense for me. Like I said, it just seems, yeah, it's just different. So I have considered it. I'm just nervous. You have to know going in, you aren't going to say hi to everyone, and that's okay. Nobody gets offended with that because they're in and out of it. That's fair. That's fair. And I would need to figure out a way. I suppose I could have like 2 devices up, because I wouldn't be able to stream on my computer because you stream directly from the phone, right? So if I've got the phone pointing down, I feel like it would be really hard to keep up with chat too. Like I said, I know it seems silly because we've been doing live stream over here for ages, but even if my bells and whistles don't like to work sometimes, I find a certain level of comfort. Can't overthink TikTok. There's a way to do it on a computer with your camera set up. Ooh. I might need to look into that, because that would be nice. That would be really nice. I could make another profile and toy with that. Just log into TikTok from the computer. That would make it a lot easier, because then I could just tap my phone and do that. All right. You guys got me thinking. I've got a lot coming up this weekend and such, so I probably won't look into it, but I'm gonna put it at the top of my list to start doing some research. And then you guys can come over there and hold my hand while I'm terrified. Don't have TikTok. Yeah. I mean, I have it mostly because since I'm trying to kind of branch out with my online brand of sorts, it's good to kind of at least have your screen name. But people are doing a decent follow over there. So I was like, all right, well, I guess we'll keep posting her. Shit. Yeah, I would just be so nervous. Like, it's funny. You'd think all social media is the same, but it's really not. Like, everything's kind of just different on different platforms. All right, we're going to do warm gray 3. I suppose I could probably just like search. You can search hashtags on TikTok, right? Maybe it's not hashtags. Maybe I just search it up. I just need to see if I can find any other like Johanna colorists. Because that's definitely a thing here where, you know, it takes us so much longer to finish a page. So it would have to be something smaller. I have a couple copies of her books. Like, that could be a thing. You haven't seen any? Yeah. That could be a thing, though, where, because I've got multiple copies of the book. I should just grab a copy and make that my dedicated, like, TikTok stream one. I'm trying to look back, see what I have on the shelf over there. Yeah, I have multiple copies of the books. I told you. I know. I know. Like I said, I've just been nervous about it. Like, I just am so unfamiliar with it. It seems so different. But hey, I wouldn't say no to other avenues of income, especially since I'm getting close to hitting that 10,000. That would be great. Like, just like that could be the hook. Come watch me color while I pay off student loans. If I do end up going through it all or going through with it and finding a way that I'm comfortable with, I'll post it on the community tab too. You guys can come be my backup. Gift goals. I'll write that down. See, this just says how much I don't know about TikTok. How much I don't know about TikTok. I'm like, what are gift goals? I mean, technically, I set that up on Streamlabs, but like, it's a whole thing. Because that's the other thing too. Like Twitch, I'm using Black now. Twitch is also like a whole other vibe. Like, yeah, each platform just has its own different kinds of groups of people. I don't know. It feels silly that I'm nervous about going live on TikTok, but I am. I'm nervy. The internet can be harsh, man. Dual stream. You know, Amy, what is it? Amy Ward Crafts, Amy Ward Art. Something. Amy, AMIE. She dual streams on both Twitch and YouTube. A different breed. Yeah. Yeah, a little bit. Like, part of me to feel like, am I too old to do TikTok? I don't know. The cool kids. The tickety talk. Okay. We need to add a little bit more. We're gonna do this. I'm gonna make sure that it looks like metal, but also like the train's broken down, so I feel like it's probably a little bit rusty. But yeah, I could just start with like the first page on Small Victories and be like, watch me finish this book. Follow me for part 212. There's grandma's dancing. Okay, that's fair. Right. No, I've seen how she does it and I'm just like thoroughly impressed because she responds to both chats, but it's cool because she keeps the chat up. So even if you're on YouTube or on TikTok or whatever, she's got them both combined on screen, not necessarily in the chat box, but on screen so people can follow that a little bit more. Like, hot dang, man. It's impressive. Okay, let's see. Let's do a little bit heavier black back here. Make sure that really pops. It means I'd have to join TikTok. Only if you want to. Only if you want to. It can be very noisy over there. Well, and I know we talked about it briefly before, but that's when they thought that TikTok was going under. And I was just like, well, I don't know if I should do that. It's kind of like too little, too late kind of thing. But now it's back. Who knows if they're going to get rid of it again? Who's to say? But it's there for now. Okay, then let's do Warm Gray 1. Okay. Brian, you about to be in trouble. Okay. All right. Let's try with the blender. Let's see if this works. Yeah, it's smoothing it out a little bit. Also, I apologize in advance. The dogs next door are barking. I don't mind going over this because that's going to be like a wispy smoke kind of area. Aw, thank you. It's going to voicemail. Do you have one of those, like Steve and I, we follow each other like on Google Maps. So like we have a tracker where we can always see, you know, where we're at. It actually comes in handy when I lose my phone. But do you guys have like a phone tracker? Does it say where he's at? Let's do a little bit of sepia. Like I said, I feel like the train's a little bit rusty, so that's what we're going with. Okay, I'll probably do these other wheels off stream. We're going to do these, and then we're going to move down to the railroad track and the ground. I think one of the things that bothers me is this is clearly like, oh, sorry. This is clearly like a rock that's standing up, but the train thing is on top of it, which doesn't really work. He doesn't know. Well, we all do know because we also turned it on the kids' phones too. In fact, it came in handy last summer because little Steve, now the kids have phones, yes, but it's not like they don't have any social. It's strictly mostly for them, you know, like watching TV while we're out and about. Little Emily's getting old enough that we have a select number of friends who have her numbers, so she talks to them on the phone. But when we went on the Oregon trip, I'm using black now. When we went on the Oregon trip, little Steve had forgotten his phone at home, but we didn't realize it until after we'd gone through security. And so we were concerned, like, oh my gosh, did it get stolen kind of thing? But I was able to pull up the map and I was able to see that the phone was still at home. So, and honestly, it worked out being better for him in the long run because it just meant that he didn't have his phone to be distracted with. I like to do like we're going back to the 80s every now and then where, especially if it's like a spring break, usually a long break time, because I'm like, we are not staying on screens this entire break. Absolutely not. So we'll do a go back to the 80s couple of days where there's no screen time. Or if we do screen time, it's limited to like 30 minutes. He just called me back. Okay. On the phone with his boss. I suppose that's okay. I suppose. Mr. Brian better bring you some flowers for putting all this stress. All right, we're using the blue-gray. Shannon, do you ever see anybody using pencils over there, or is it strictly marker? Okay, just defining some of these edges. Bolts here. Right. Hello, wife trumps boss. There you go. Yeah, because the only ones that have come up for me have been, I thought it was a bug, but it was just a little fuzzy. I was like, what is that? But it's just a little fuzzy. Right? Seriously. Artists I watch use a mixture of them, Pablo's, Prismas, Lumis, Lightfast, Polys. Okay, can you share a list with me? Because I really want to see what other people do, so I know what kind of vibe to go in there with. Because like I said, the only ones I've come across so far are the Coco Wayo and markers. I don't really want to do markers in my Johanna books if I can avoid it, only because, especially if I'm trying to get a whole book done, because it bleeds through the other side. Happy with that, I think. Let's do a little bit of sepia. Like I said, it's kind of getting the vibe that's supposed to be rusty, so that's how we're doing it. It's saturated at the moment? Okay, good. a moment over there right now, but in a few weeks, marker girlies will get bored with markers. Is to do your thing. TikTok hates inauthentic. Okay. Yeah, that could be it. I mean, we all know that Johanna is like my jam. So I could totally do a Johanna one over there. Allison, I know that you stream obviously on YouTube, but do you stream on TikTok at all? I can't remember if you said if you did. It's probably because the popularity of the Ohuhu suddenly exploded between Jazz's video on them, you know, saying that they kind of won in the, you know, as far as the markers are concerned. I think that was part of the wheel. And the fact that they just released those refillables. And I think they kind of upped their marketing too. They were sending out a lot more like PR packages. Let's see. I don't talk about finishing a book. How's your progress in small victories? Let me grab it real quick. Hang on. I don't know where I put. I was cleaning up. I think I shifted it. Oh, there it is. So I've got, see, I was reaching to go put the mic back on my shirt, but I can't. So this one is the one that Johanna, did she send this? Yes, she did. So this is the one that Johanna sent. So honestly, I haven't gotten much further in it. So we've got this front part. Sort of hoo-hoo with new nibs, broke down and nabbed them for the price increase. Right? Seriously. Then we got this page, this one. This one's a work in progress. I need to finish that at some point. Let's see, that one. That one. Did that one on stream. So there's a fair amount in here. That was the charity stream. So, yeah, there's a handful in here, but it's not done. But I do have these perfectly good copies. That is true. I could. Oh, wait, this one has, thought I saw a couple cupcakes. I don't know why I did, like, only, there you are. Oh, no, that was Little Emily. Little Emily colored in this one. This one. Yeah, this one's completely empty. This could be a TikTok copy. And that could be a whole shtick. Watch me finish a whole book. I never have finished an entire book before. It could be a whole thing. A third of the book? No. Maybe a quarter. I haven't counted how many pages in there because it's hard to say because I have a lot of like halfway done pictures because hello, it's me. No one is surprised. I have a lot of halfway done pictures, but not as many completely finished. All right, I'm going to use the blue gray. But it really is something to think about, especially now that TikTok isn't going anywhere for the time being. Couldn't hurt, right? I mean, I suppose it could hurt. Do the online equivalent of somebody setting my account on fire because I said the wrong thing. People scare me. Which is funny because you guys don't. I'm trying to think back like how nervous I was when I first started. And I think I was pretty nervous, but it was more like trying to make sure like none of the technical stuff got fudged or anything. I mean, most of the time I'm familiar enough with with the things that I use for streaming that like I can usually, you know, problem solve pretty quickly. Welcome back. But yeah, I have a whole brand new book, so I could definitely do that. Come finish Small Victories with me. Because you have to put a title, right? Hey, at least I wouldn't have to make cover photos for going live on TikTok, right? We're using French Grade 2. think. Okay, first memory, Allison. I'm particular. It's best to have your toe in everything, so you need. Yes, exactly. My eye drew right to that word, Shannon, and I was like, wait, hold up, what are we talking about? I was like, wait, what? I'm not, because in my head, I was thinking, we're talking about TikTok, and then I hear you saying boobs, and I'm like, this is not only crayons, madam, there will be no boobs on the TikTok. Oh, the top part. Okay. Go on TikTok to dunk on celebrities, comment sections, and re-upload the same shorts and drop on YouTube. Once I hit AdSense level and get comments on YouTube, refocus on TikTok. Oh, okay. This all makes a lot more sense. I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm closing in on 40. Even if I was brave enough to do that, I don't know how many viewers there would be for that. What is happening today? What is happening? Oh. All right, hold on. We're gonna call him again. Oh, dude, it's getting to be quite the randy color in chat. You never know what's this is not family friendly content. Oh right. Oh my gosh, that'd be hilarious, Allison. What is that big blue thing? Big blue thing. Big blue. Do you mean the book? Or my shirt? Oh, this. Well, my mic finally. Paul thought that it would be a fun little snack, and I was hoping it would hold out, but he polished off my mic for me. So, yeah, I know. I think I'm gonna have to reinitialize it, so we'll just have to hold tight, I suppose. If you go to !loyalty, it'll take you to the store, and it should say, as long as you're logged in, it should say in the top right hand corner how many points you have. But yeah, Mike. The other one went kaput because Paul thought, I pushed the wrong button again. He thought it would be a tasty snack, and so, but I still have this one rigged up. This is what we used from the beginning. Well, no, I had a different mic that Steve now has, but yeah, we just went back. Just got her fancy mic. I don't know why, but the Twilight thing popped in my life. Yeah, no, it's just in the way. I was like, well, my shirt's blue. I don't know, I got that. All right, so we've got metal railings, we've got wood tracks underneath. So let's just do that part to begin with. You guys ever see that guy that like recreates the Twilight scenes? It's hilarious. He plays like all the parts. It's super over exaggerated. I don't follow him, but he comes across my feed quite frequently, and it always gives me a good chuckle. I'm tempted to read the Twilight books. I downloaded a sample, and I thought maybe, you know, because sometimes the TV versions aren't as good. It won't let you log in either. Streamlabs is like down or something. Well, I'll reinitialize it. Probably sometime before stream on Friday, and hopefully that'll work. And then you can always check offline too. But I was kind of hoping it would be one of those situations where the book is better than the show or the movie, since, you know, the movie gets pretty significant flack because, hello, the baby they used. Nope, not working. Okay, well then, yeah, that's probably a Streamlabs thing. But I'll reinitialize the bot just in case, see if that helps. But the Renesmee baby was pretty terrible. But anyway, I read a Are you trying to kill my fingers? That'd be a lot of charms. In fact, I had a lady that I was in the grocery store and she saw my shoes that I embroidered. And she's like, oh, those are so pretty. You know, she asked what it was. I told her what I did. And she's like, oh, that's so pretty. You should sell those. And I'm like, I think my fingers would fall off if I sold that. Because embroidering on a canvas shoe, like a high top canvas shoe, oh my gosh, murder on my hands. Just straight up murder. Okay, let's do blue gray. Oh, well, yeah, I'm glad she likes it. Yeah, it usually is, but I downloaded a sample and I felt like it's still just read incredibly immaturely, which it's supposed to be, you know, like a teenager's thing anyway. So it makes sense, but I think I was just holding out hope that it was going to be a little bit better. And I was like, I don't know if it's worth the Audible credit. I try to spend my credits wisely. Not that I've had a ton of time for that lately anyway, because I haven't had a chance to read Corey's books either. Well, I mean, I read her first one, but not any of the others. Okay, that was blue gray. Let's do French grade 2. I need to leave her a review still, but I am so bad at compiling those. Like, eloquence is not my thing. I was reading, Shannon, I saw your reviews on the Audible ones too, and you're so like in depth, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I love everything that she said. I think I would have a hard time coming up. Writing and math is not my thing. They're better than the movies. Maybe I just need to like stick with it. Oh, absolutely, Butterfly. Sometimes there was, I can't remember which book it was, but I was listening to some book, and for most of the series, it had been a single female narrator. And for the last book, it had moved into doing multiple narrators, one of them being a guy. And I get that the like low voices are supposed to be like a thing, like, oh man, your voice, you should be, you know, read audiobooks. And I get that, but I don't know how it was that he was reading. And it wasn't even like I was reacting with anyone like in the car with me, but his voice came on and I like, even just by myself, I was just like, I don't like this, because he had this really deep voice, but it was like, it sounded like he had put cotton in his mouth and like didn't know how to move his mouth correctly. Like it just sounded like he was talking with his mouth full. Something about it, it was weird, and it was just like unpleasant. I was like, oh, this has ruined the last book. Again, I can't remember which book it was, but it's just like his voice came on and I was like, no, thanks though. And like the narrator for the later Court of Thorns and Roses, like I just felt like it was a little over the top. I wish we could have stuck with the same. I did like the graphic audios when they came out, because it was, you know, different people voicing it, but it's just, a bad narrator will definitely ruin the book. Absolutely. 1990 is on my 3R card. You know, I've been thinking about those though, because those were freaking expensive back in the day, because we used to take a lot of road trips when we lived in Oregon just as a family, and I'm just using black. And I just remember those were so expensive. And at the time, like we had a fairly small income when I was a kid. And so paying like 50, 60, however much it was, you know, $50 in the 90s was a lot of money, like a lot of money. Basically $20 in the 90s was the equivalent of $50 today. And so it wasn't ever something we did, like having a book on tape or a book on CD. Like that was freaking luxury, man. Oh yeah, you can't post a link in chat, only in the mod skin. Let's see. Iron Flame or Onyx Storm for the one that I was listening to. That might have been it. Yeah, it was the last one where like it was near the end of the book and they introduced like some of the other side characters had new voices. Like, and I don't know, because I'm listening to a female do a man's voice, it makes him sound a little bit younger. Right, it was. It made him sound like he was a 40-year-old man whose lips got broken and didn't know how to move them. Like, I'm generally a nice person, and whoever that person is, I would never say it to their face, but the odds of them seeing this is pretty slim to none. But I was just like, oh, I don't like that. Yes, exactly, Angela. Okay, thank you for remembering, because I knew it was a well-known one, but I couldn't remember if it was like a Sarah J. Maas one or what. Words of Radiance. Oh, let me know how you like it. Oh, see, that's the thing is I have a hard time sitting down and reading physical books because I've always got like too much to do. All right, we have sepia and let's get terracotta and beige. But yeah, it was weird. It was really weird. I was like, oh no. I mean, I stuck with it because I paid for the book and I wanted to, you know, hear how it ended. But still, what am I looking at? I'm looking for terracotta. And yes, okay, we're good. Sound like one of the books, like, right? Oh, so cringe, butterflies. Like they just. They make them sound whiny and just like petulant. And I'm just like, this is not accurate. Because by the time you get that far in books, like I get sometimes certain like voice actors might not be available. But when you get to the point where you're like at the third or the fourth book and you change it up and you're so used to a certain voice for the character and you change it up and you're just like, this isn't the right person. But yeah, I literally, like, there was no one else in the car with me. And I just like made a face and I was like, I don't like this. Because I'm like, what is going on? I've got to just be there for the vibes and not understand. Right? Well, and that being said, like, I can do art and chores and stuff while I listen to audiobooks. But if I catch myself scrolling online or something while I'm doing audiobooks, I will lose track of what I'm listening to. And I'm like, I have no idea what just happened. Like, okay, I guess this is a thing. Yeah, absolutely. But also, like, the consistency is key. Like, it's different when you're introducing new characters, but if you suddenly change the characters is like, The only time I have ever found switching voices to work and most of the world not knowing that voices were switched were when halfway through the Be Prepared song from The Lion King, Scar's song, the guy who was singing originally, he damaged his voice singing and Jim Cummings had to finish the song for him. The voice of Winnie the Pooh. Fun fact, if you didn't know. I'm sitting in a readathon next month. I have to find a book with food on the cover. Of all the books I own, no food. Maybe at the other house on the shelves I'll find one, right? Yeah, dramatized books. I do like them. Not to mention, it gives me an opportunity to get something a little bit better. The only book that hasn't really worked for me for a dramatized edition is White Sands, which is a Brandon Sanderson. And it's because the book is actually a graphic novel. So listening to it without the graphic novel in front of you, it's just disjointed and it just doesn't work. Not that there's anything wrong with his writing because he's a phenomenal writer, but listening to it without the book in front of you is really hard. All right, so beige. And that's because it was written like it's supposed to be a graphic novel. So it's got, something a little bit with it. How are we doing on time anyway? 11:29, we're actually doing pretty good. Considering all of the technical difficulties. No, 1 second. Wait, no spoilers for White Sands? Which one was I talking about? Hi, Kathleen. Oh, if it helps, I don't really remember. I need to get the physical book. I don't think I finished it. I need to get the physical book for it. So I couldn't. All right, here's your one spoiler. In the book, White Sands, there's sand. That's all I got for you. But that's also because I didn't finish it. All right, let's do CP again. That's my my one and only spoiler. There is sand. I couldn't even give you a synopsis of it because, like, hey, that's the other thing too, is when I'm physically reading a book and not listening to it, I have a hard time retaining the information, especially with Brandon Sanderson's books, because there's so much in his books and characters. Like, as it is, I have to listen to the books multiple times before I can retain enough to understand all the little nuances that he has. Yeah, I don't think I finished. Sometimes I'll stick with it and just be like, well, I bought the audiobook, I'll finish it. But there've only been a handful of ones that that I haven't finished. Okay, let's do a little bit of the terracotta. So, Shannon, in those TikTok lives, what do they talk about? Like, just the coloring? Again, like I said, when I'm live with you guys, it's like we're meeting up at a coffee shop. So we talk about anything and everything. But, like, what do you talk about in there? Because usually if I pop into one, they're just like, oh, hey, thanks for the thing. Thanks for the whatever, you know, as tons of gifts are coming in. And there's not really much conversation short of a couple little tidbits about, like, the tools that they're using or anything. I just, again, it's like, I know here really well. I just wouldn't know what to say to the rest of them. Oh, which books were delivered? Just make sure to, yeah, that's the one thing I'm getting, because I'm seeing lots of them. Like, I feel like going live on TikTok is like going to a party where I only know the host. And so I stand there in the corner awkwardly until someone takes pity on me and draws me into a conversation. Okay, we are just about done with these slats, and then we're going to move into the ground underneath. Because this just looks, there's not a lot of plant on the ground. It's mostly stone. In fact, I think we'll leave this here and we'll add more to it as we need to. You just answer what you want to answer. All right. I wonder how many people would be in there. Like, I don't want to go in there with delusions of grandeur thinking that, you know, like here, there'll be, you know, 35, 50, however many people for whatever. Like, I'm curious what the viewership will be like. Okay, so let's work on this ground here. And I think we'll start, because there's a lot of rocks. I'm not seeing an opportunity for a ton of grass. So let's start with a brown. Let's just start with beige, actually. Here, we'll start small, and likes and interactions can land you on FYP, and then numbers will go. Ooh, that'd be good. War Trilogy is, remember, you recommended. Wait, what's the Poppy War Trilogy? All right, so we're going to do beige. We're just going to fill this all in. We've got some rocks that we're going to draw attention to, but we're going to do a base color here. And we are just going to fill this all in. Think of it like an undercoating almost. Not too worried about going over these little wispy things because we'll be putting some paint over the top. Sounds good, Christine. Thanks for being here. Thanks. Yeah, I'm a little nervy. We've got a jam-packed week this week, so I probably won't look into it, but maybe that will be my task next week, is look into the TikTok. Because if I can figure out how to stream from my computer on there, that would be great. I think I would just need to make a new profile and set up things a little bit differently. Okay, so we've got this beige undertone. I think we're going to work from the top down. So we have these rocks. And again, this one kind of sits funny. So we'll work with that. But let's go ahead and let's see. Yeah, so you remember how I talked about the duplicate things? Oh, the Poppy Wars. Oh, gotcha. This is the same as this. This has been duplicated. R.F. Quang. Hang on, I'll write that down. I'm always looking for good books. R. Oh. All right, so let's go with Warm Gray 3, I think, to begin with. Okay. sure we're in focus. All right, there we go. All right, so warm gray 3. Let's see. Now he has some heavier shadows here, but mine is coming from my light source is coming from the right-hand side. So we're actually going to go heavier on the left side. Still want to keep the shape of these rocks, so we're just going to kind of follow his lines. Yeah, that's working. Yeah, and I suppose I don't necessarily need to do scheduled streams on TikTok like I do here. Like I just go live whenever. Okay, so we're just using that warm gray 3. We're just going to focus on this area right now too, mostly because we haven't done some of this stuff over here. So let's see, like Fire and High by Elizabeth, Midnight on Blackbird Cafe by Haley. Ooh, write those down real quick. You can go live using OBS. There are instructions on how to do that online. Ooh, okay, cool. Oh, to the Kindle. Oh, was it part of the Kindle library? I forget what the name of that is for. Oh. So I don't want to do a ton here because we're going to get more brown where this is at. It feels weird there not being any grass here, but we're just going to roll with it for now. This is how he drew it. Okay, so now let's get French gray 4. Oops. Okay. Not pressing super hard, but I want to make sure that these stand out as rocks. Kindle Limited, gotcha. Scheduled for TikTok, you can post that in Pinterest. Oh, good to know. Good to know. Yeah, I think before I set a regular schedule, like I'll need to do some test streams and feel how, see how I feel about it. And that's the other thing. I mean, you think with how often I have to change the schedule here with the kids, like I'd feel bad if I started doing that more. So I have to look at it realistically. It's like, okay, how can I incorporate this without, sacrificing time that I need for other things. Here's my question though. So obviously like on Twitch, when people are doing gaming, they will go for 6 to 8 hours at a time. That's kind of normal and expected for gaming streamers. Here on YouTube, usually about 2 hours is the expected length. So how long are people usually live doing coloring over on TikTok? Okay. Now let's get tree bark. Pop-ups are fine there. Okay, cool. Hi, Jeanette. How are you? All right, so tree bark, and let's do tawny. Ooh, I definitely didn't just throw a pencil. Okay, tree bark and tawny. Okay, so let's see. Let's get tawny here. Bit more. Oh my gosh, those dogs. Because there's no really open and closed shapes, I'm kind of just making this up as we go along, and then once we get more layers, we'll add more to it. Okay, so then we're gonna do tree bark. This one's one of the darker ones, so we're gonna go just a little bit heavier. It's so interesting to me though too, because like for us on YouTube and Instagram, I feel like, and even Facebook, obviously, I feel like Johanna is so prevalent. Like most people in the color, even if it's not something they like to color, we are aware of who Johanna is. But I feel like with TikTok, that's not the case over there. Not necessarily everyone knows who she is. Like I was always surprised when people that were kind of like in the art community might not know who she is. And I was like, I have to remind myself that like adult coloring to the level that we do adult coloring is a bit of an... I definitely didn't just fling that out of my hand. Have it fly under the desk. Definitely not. Okay, we're good. Hey, fumble hands. Yeah, that does. If we had replays, I'd probably do that. And it really does. I just need to go back and play that in slow-mo. If I was zoomed out more, you would just see it fly straight across. Whew. And it definitely didn't chip the edge. He'd take it and he'd run with it. He would take it and run with it. That's just facts. Oh boy. Well, today has been a doozy. Bit of an interesting day. We've made it work, but Mama's gonna need more coffee to make it through today. Oh, absolutely I am. Right, Shannon? No, yeah, absolutely. Don't mind me, just, you know, chucking my pencils. Right, Michelle? It's the joy of doing live. You just gotta think on your feet, that's all. If that happened on TikTok, people would come at me for abuse of pencils. Does it hurt the pencil? Yes, in fact, it does hurt the pencil. That was my whole plan. There you go. Maybe I'll adopt just an evil persona for TikTok. And like, I'll color in a way that drives everyone nuts. I'll like fill in a bunch of leaves. Except one. Just everything except one. Color an area that should be vertical. Make it horizontal. A monster am I. Purposefully, oh, I can't even say this without cringing. Purposely press hard on the lead so that it snaps. Oh, that hurts my heart. I can't even hardly say it. They might have been a little harmed. Just a skosh. Or, you know, sweep up my, which I've done before. I do have an evil streak. Sweep up my pencil shavings or eraser shavings, but just leave it in a pile. Don't clean it off the page. Just color around it. Diabolical! Whoo, boy. Just special, that's all. Okay, let's get warm gray 1. Crush the pencil shavings into paint. That'd be the scratchiest paint ever. Oh my gosh. I actually do have some pinker than pink pigment. I just need to figure out a way to make it into actual paint. I know there's like stuff you need. I should like message Tanya and be like, Tanya, how do you make your paint? It's supposed to be this pink that is such a bright pink that it can't even translate on like, I can show it to you guys, but like you wouldn't see just how pink it is. Grab the wrong color to blend with. Use the blender before the color. Oh my gosh. Been lurking while having breakfast, so I'm gonna say ciao. Wish everyone visiting my sister. Ah, sounds good. Planner Tiny Art Studio makes bracelets and watercolor. Oh my gosh, exclamation point words. Words are hard. But I love that. Have fun. Family visiting is always great. Unless you have a terrible family, then maybe it's not as great. But it sounds like you're gonna have a good time. You know, everybody's got that one relative, right? Got a handful of them. All right, let's use our black. A little bit darker. Let's see, and I want to get this darker as well. And I probably will use the blender on these a bit. There we go, it's coming along. Be your father's wife. Is that your mother? Well, I guess maybe not. It'd be like stepmother or something. Okay. I'm just trying to make it darker on the areas that are facing away. I'm liking that. In her own way. Okay. All right. I want to use our blender a little bit. Hope if I grab the right thing. We're going to see how this looks here. Gonna smooth it out, get rid of any of that tooth. Like I said, when it's not like open and closed shapes, sometimes it's hard to get that definition across. We're gonna darken this rock up just a bit. Alright, it's coming along. It's coming along. Make sure we get that shadow underneath these. Well, I think words on stream would still have to be a YouTube thing. I don't even know how I'd get that to work on TikTok. Like, it's the same idea as I think if you're using OBS, but like framing it right, I feel like it would be weird. Okay. How are we liking that? Oh, yeah. Yeah. When I worked at a retirement home, there was a lot of that I experienced, and it is incredibly hard. There we go. Yeah, that's coming along. I keep grabbing at the mic to twist it because I twist this thing up here and it's like almost the same width as the camera. But yeah, I'm liking how that's coming along. So if I have time, that's a big if, I'll be honest, I probably won't. My plan is to try and catch up on things that we already did. So like the wheels, dirt, maybe some tree trunks. So there's lots of stuff that we can, but either way, when we come back, we'll work on stuff that we haven't already worked on it. But yeah, I'm gonna seriously consider this TikTok thing because it could be just something else. Like we do all of our normal stuff over there, but TikTok lives could be a let's finish a book kind of deal. People love that, right? Multiple parts to be able to see at the end that it's all filled up. It could be a thing. Because I think it would be a lot to do that so frequently because I'd be editing a lot of stuff. That's one of the reasons I decided to go live on YouTube as it is, because it eliminating the need to edit. Granted, then lots of crazy things happen. All right, so we're gonna now shift the mic. Let's see. Okay, you can't see it anymore. So it's here because we are going to do our words on stream now. Let's see. Okay, now you can see it. I'll definitely need to go back and listen and see how this is. Probably once I get comfortable with it. Yeah. I mean, how long did it take me to do something like this? 5 years? Don't move quickly. All right, let's go ahead and move on over. Let's actually go ahead and get our words on stream. We're going to pause the music. Move my speakers here because that's part of the issue is it keeps hitting the speakers. There we go. All right. Get the games loaded. Changes. It is hard. I don't like it. All right. So let's pull that up. We're going to move that here. Okay. We're going to move over to the games. Did we find Brian? Okay, good. Yes, he is not in a ditch. We are good. All right. Is everybody ready for a little words on stream? There we go. All right. All right. Here we go. Okay. Let's see. Why am I not seeing it? Handtill, maybe? Fallen? No, that's not a word. This is level 1. This should be obvious. Hilt, tail, thin. Oh! Anthill. Nice, Sue. Very nice. Took me just a minute. Okay, so anthill, then Thane, maybe? Brain's not braining today. I will be lucky if I get 1 in here. Let's see. What about, we got Lane, Lint, Van. Oh, lathe, that's good. Till. Thin. Oh, tail, yeah. Hill. Oh, hall. Yay, I got one. Oh, Latin. Wait. Why aren't they accepting Latin? I mean, I guess maybe they're taking Latin as a race rather than Latin as a language. Totally should accept Latin. Let's see. What is the 6-letter word? 8. But hey, we made our goal. We made our goal. So I'll count it as a win. Yeah. All right, skip 2 levels. Sue, butterflies, and bee. Well done. Okay. Oh. Secure. There we go. We've got 2 more 6-letter word. Oh, it's just my thing. Let's see. We got cures, curse. What about recuse? I think that's one. Yes. Okay, cool. Recuse. Secure. Secrue a word? Oh, rescue. That makes more sense than secrue. We got cure and cures. What about just cues? Let's see. Got ruse and ruse. Oh, sear. Reuse. Oh, user. Am I still locked out? I'm still locked out. Oh yeah, Durbin got it. Nice. User. R-E-S. What about Cree? Cruise, there you go. Cruise. Okay, another 5-letter word. Sewer. Yeah, I don't know what those last ones are. Nice. All right, skip 2 levels. We got Sue, Durbin, and Allison. Well done. Okay, I just see 4. I'll do that. Oh, flower. Flower and... Oh no, QR code won't work. I'm telling you, tech is against everything today. I haven't been able to get online with some of my Minecraft friends because, like, my ping has been terrible. I don't know what it is. Flow. I thought reflow would be a word. Maybe not. Wolfer, yeah. Not wolf. Flew. What about F-L-O-E? There we go. All right, and then we've got 1 4-letter word, 1 5-letter word, and 1 6-letter word. What about wolf with an E? Roll, nice, B. Okay, so I see someone tried wolfer. Yeah, Sue tried wolfer. Fowler. Oh, yeah, that'll do it. Rowell. I don't know what that one is. But hey, we cleared the board. That's skip 5 levels. That brings us to level 10, I believe. It is Durbin, Gleechy, and Shannon. Well done. Okay, so there is a fake letter. Try topic. No, it wouldn't be topic. There's no 5 letters. Okay, so I feel like the C and the K are going to be okay. Oh, pocket! Okay, so it's a fake I. So what about pock? There we go. Okay, so a fake I. Cite, C-I-T-E, I believe. Yeah, poke. Oh, no, wait. The I is fake. What am I doing? The I is fake. Listen to myself. Poet, cope, nice. Just P-O-T-E, pote. Or pecked. All 4-letter words. Poke, nice. Poet. Kept. Oh, that's good. Oat. 2 more 4-letter words. I believe that last one's going to start with a P also. P-O-C-E. Pock, poet, poke. Oh, toke! Okay, yeah, that makes more sense. Kept. I don't know what that last one is. Keto! Nice, Sue. All right, Michelle, Annette, and Angela. Well done. Let's try extra to begin with. All right, extra is not in there. We're gonna do Raider. Raider. Okay, so it's a fake X. A fake X. Oh, what about Terra? T-E-R-R-A? Rate and rear. Okay. Eater. Oh no, there's not 2 E's. React. Oh, it's a hidden C. Crater. Crater, crater, crater. I just hope I didn't yell at everyone really loud. I don't know what the mic's doing, so I don't know. Crate by itself. There you go. Cart. C-A-R-T. Trace Carter, nice. I wonder if cart with an E also. Maybe. Oh, yeah, there it is. Let's see. Tracer, nice, Sue. Yeah, that makes sense. Annette got traced. Yeah. Rare. Ooh, we hit our goal. What about Acer? Okay. Race. Oh, acre. That makes more sense. Here. Great. It's gonna be another C. Oh, tear. Nice. Carrot. Well done. Cater. Look at that. That should get us skip 3 levels. Woohoo. All right. So we have Sue, Annette, and Shannon. Okay. Let's see. Hidden letter and fake letter. I'm going to do brace. Lever. Oh, it's a second E. We still haven't cleared the B or the C though. What about just cleaver? Cleaver, okay. Fake B, second E, and nothing smaller than 5 letters. So no B, second E. Let's see. What about clave? C-L-A-V-E. There we go. Crave. C-R-A-V-E. There we go. Reveal. Nice. Let's see. Apple. Nice, Liz. E. Here. Oh, Cav. Nice. Which means those other 2 are going to start with a C also. E. Vowel. Oh, carve. Nice. Oh gosh, we just need one more word, guys. Claver. Nice, Durbin. I was like, oh no. Let's see. Velar. Nice. My brain wasn't braining. But hey, we made our goal. We're good. We're good. All right, on to the level 18. Here we go. Sue, Liz, and Annette. Oh, wow. I'm just going to try bread. Hidden letter and fake letter. Okay, not bread. The L's are probably going to be fine. So, what about baller? Oh, bedlam. That would have been good. Oh, billiard. Yeah. What about if it's a... Oh, double. Oh, okay. B-L-A-D-D-R? Bladder? Maybe Liz got... What did Liz get? I don't know. Bluebird. Oh. Liz! Help us out! What words are you doing? Let's see. Dullard. I feel like that's not right. Oh my gosh, what is it? Bleed. Maybe drill. Well, we're gonna find out soon. Everybody get your typing fingers ready. It's like, I feel like it's gonna be so obvious. Sue, what did Sue get? Label. Nice, Sue. What about labeler? Or labeled? Okay, so it's a fake R hidden H. Whole. What is that? Hullabaloo? What even is that? Anybody else's brains not working on that one? Allison. Oh, that was brutal. That's very dumb. What even kind of, okay, let's see who the overall winners we got here. We've got Sue, Durbin, and Michelle, followed closely by Annette. Well done, you guys. That was, do you think they're just making it harder? They might be making it harder. I don't even know. All right, well, that's how far we got. I will do my best to try and get caught up some on Friday. Hopefully, if you guys are new here, you aren't totally appalled by all the audio issues, but it is what it is. Hopefully I can get this figured out. Anyway, but yeah, so we're gonna head out, and yeah, you guys keep being you. Keep being awesome. It would help if I turned off words on stream so we're not listening to that. But yeah, so we're gonna head out. Everybody have a great rest of your week. I'll see you Friday morning. All right. I'll talk to you later. Bye.